Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They haven't got it!
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's gonna do it! Big Barry!
Good evening and welcome to the SRL TCR Round 6 live from Road Atlanta Shorts. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by Zach Sweeney this evening, who's going to come along for the final round of this championship. And what a championship it's been, and it has left us in this position with the scores currently at the moment. Dan Mould is in first place on 184 with Sam Smith on 160, Dan Sedgley on 152 and Arthur Ferdle on 151. Can anyone beat Dan Mould with 60 points up for grabs? I don't really know, to be honest. Dan is very quick currently at the moment. He is setting the timing tower alight and he is in first place at this moment in time. Don't forget, we've got two 20-minute heats, top 20 reverse for race 2, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. They get 1 point per fastest lap per race, and the winner gets 25 in heat 1 and 33 in heat 2. But let's bring in Zach into the booth. Good evening, Zach. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Looking forward to some touring cars because, well, they're touring cars, James.
Absolutely. They are, and these guys have been putting on an absolutely barnstorming season here as well. Callum Milam, how's it going? I'm very good, thank you very much. I'm sure Zach, you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. Still recovering from a sore throat, but I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, we're both in a book. Good. Let's go. Good luck, everyone. Says Toxic Munchkin. Of course, that is Jamie Dengle. Thank you so much for joining us. We're coming to the last 2 minutes of qualifying at this moment in time as well here this evening. So what an absolute barnstorming race is going to be. Dan Mould's leading the championship. Can he be caught? He's 24 points ahead currently at the moment. Zach, what do we think?
I mean, it's doable. You know, we're not going to say it's impossible for Sam Smith to catch and close that gap. Obviously, there's what 25-33, so you know, just over 50 points available for winning both races. Plus, obviously, the points for fast lap and things like that as well. You know, it's not completely out of the question. However, with the pace that Dan Mould is showing, it's going to take you'd have to say a miracle for Sam Smith to make any realistic indents into that championship lead. Again, we're welcome to be proven wrong. I mean, again, all it takes really is Dan Mould to not score very well across both races. I don't think there's any drop rounds or anything in effect. So Dan Mould, he definitely does have a little bit of pressure on his shoulders, but the 20-point lead, it's a nice thing. And obviously the pace coupled with that leading the timing sheets in practice, you know, there's worse ways to start the season finale, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's going to be definitely a mission if anybody is going to win. We will keep you up to date as we go along. I have got it all written down with my little 1 point tally ready as going for the fastest lap, so we will do quick maths as it's going on as well, and we'll see what happens here this evening as well. Toxic, come on Dudley, you big queen. God blimey. There you go. Good job you're on the same team, isn't it, Mr. Jamie Dengle and Ryan Dudley there. Dudley's currently down in 15th place. We are on board with Daniel Sedgley, who is in the Audi. Now, some people have changed cars. Arthur Ferdle has gone to the Veloster, as well as Gary Craig, and at the same time. So there was obviously the BOP that everybody then changed and said, well, you know, the Elantra's not going to be the go-to car anymore. However, Dan Mould has said that he will stick with the same car that basically he's been in all season long. He will not change cars. They do have the option to change cars. They are not set to the cars that they need to be in, so they can change the car as the season goes on, depending on the track, of course. Now, most people, like Arthur Ferdle and a few others, have changed. Dan Mould, not so much. He's stuck with the car, Zach, that he started the season on.
I think that's a sensible shout for sure. I mean, obviously, naturally, you are going to want to be in the right machinery for the right venue. Certain cars are going to lend themselves better to different circuits. Some might be a little bit more strong in straight lines, others a little bit different in terms of their cornering capabilities and things like that. But the fundamental thing is you don't want to have to go through the struggle of adapting to a new car week in, week out. You want to stick with your guts. You want to stick with something you trust, because over the course of a season, it's consistency that wins a championship. And that's exactly what Dan Mold has. He's been in the same car for the entire season, and he's used that to full effect in the sense that he's not had to adapt as a driving style at all as well. One of them forgetting what layout of the circuit. He's like, which way do I go? And then he's realized, you know what, there's cones there. I should probably go the other way. But he's trusted his car. He's been consistent, and again, that's what wins championships. He's not had to adjust his driving style week in, week out like other people have. Adapting between the Hyundai Elantra or the Audi or whatever. While yes, they're touring cars and they will have the same style of driving, overall, as an umbrella term, there will be little nuances and little changes that you will have to make, which Dan Mold won't, because he's in a car, he's in rhythm with that car, and in all fairness, it's worked out for him. So he obviously knows what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to stay on board with Arthur Ferdl for a lap around here. Here we go. Along the road, Atlanta straight. As we're coming in to the first corner, we're going to be on the brakes just on the exit road there on the left-hand side. Into fourth gear, we're going to get it hooked up, and on the gas we go. Now we're going to aim for the tree at the top left-hand side, which will tell you where the curb is going. It's going that way. Then we're going to go right round turn 2 and 3, and before we start going through the S's down here as well. But then we're going to go round the long looping hander of 5 and 6. So we'll go into 5, round the exit of 6, and then we start our run down into, of course, 7 and 8, which is effectively 10A and 10B if we were on the full track. We're not, we're on the short track, and we're going to be looking for the third white line just about now. Onto the brakes we go, through the chicane, left, right, start our exit, let it run a little bit wide, over the curb we go, pointing it down towards the stands. There we go. Arthur Ferdl's going to be running round the final corner here in 5th gear. How is he going to do for his first lap out? He is going to go across the board and go into 2nd place on a 1:01.39. So there we go. Jay Corley is another man as well. Of course, Jay's come back to the series after missing a few races. So see how he gets on in the Elantra at the same time there. I think from that point of view, Zach Ferdl's kind of laid a marker down and said, well, I'm still going to be involved, even though I cannot possibly win this championship, but some looming absolute miracle where Mold doesn't finish either race, of course. But he's laid down a marker early on.
I mean, he's made a statement for sure. That's a good thing to have. And obviously, regardless of whether or not you're going to win a championship, you still want to end the season on a high. You don't want to, have the off season with your head in your lap thinking, oh, you know what, I could have done more, could have ended the season a bit better. No, you want to go out with a bang. You want to enjoy yourself, as Gary Craig sets the increasing benchmark of a 1 minute dead 0.98. So definitely a good lap time coming in there. Still waiting for Dan Molden to what lap time he's going to set, and well, naturally probably to set the standard. There's Arthur Thurtle though, even more of a statement, just going about 0.2 of a second quicker, just under 0.2 of a second quicker. Dan Mold, even he is not able to topple the 74 machine. So Arthur Thurtle definitely coming into Road Atlanta with some good pace.
Yeah, it definitely is at the moment. It's just been naturally quick in any car he seems to pick up at the moment, regardless if it's this one, a Clio, or anything else at the moment in time. He just seems to be speedy regardless. He needs some pepper pin skin on that car, says Toxic. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not entirely sure if that's the way Arthur Ferdl really wants to go on that one. But Gary Craig is in 3rd place, currently just about to go across the line. What sort of time is Craig going to do? He goes on to pole on a 1 minute 7:07. So it is all on Ferdl now as he's coming around the final corner. What is he going to do? Don't forget, of course, Ferdl is in his GT Heritage Season skin from his dad, I believe. So he's going to come across the line and he's going to go into pole on a 1 minute 5:59. What about Mold? How is Mold going to do here as he's coming around the final corner as well? Goes across the line. What sort of time is Mold going to put on the tie? He goes pole on a 1 minute 5:48. Dan Mold there snatching it at the end. Well, he had to do it. So there we go.
laps like that craft the champion, of course. And while it's only 1/100th of a second, and to any naked eye, you're thinking, what? You look at these laps side by side and you think, there's no difference. They've done the exact same lap time. No, they haven't. There's a 1/100th of a second difference between the two of them. And that just so happens to be the difference between first and second. While it is astronomically close, Dan Mould was able to etch just that little bit more out of the car in qualifying. And while, yes, they're still 4 minutes on the clock, they only get 3 laps in total. So as Daniel Sedgley moves himself up into 7th place as well, Dan Mould, right at the death there, really able to deliver. Waiting for a couple more people to round off and finish their laps. And, well, speaking of Dan Mould in the championship, look at Sam Smith all the way down there, making up the back end of the top 10. And is a good, 7/10 off Dan Mould, around a 1 minute lap time. In terms of a championship, and I don't want to say anything, bad about Sam Smith or anything like that. It just seems that in terms of the championship charge, Dan Mould, at least in qualifying, is looking very much in control.
Yeah, he seems to have got it wrapped up at the moment. If he takes it as it is at this moment in time, he will obviously take the points for the win, but we will have to see. Of course, it's 25 in the heats, 33 in the top 20 feature. So let's just see how these guys get on currently at this moment in time and see how it works out. And, well, you never know. You never know. Stranger things will happen. He could go out on turn 1. Who knows currently at this moment in time? Anything can happen here, Zach, and that's the thing, isn't it?
It's touring cars. No matter what track you're at, anything can happen. I mean, just the style of racing, they're not nothing special. They're not rigged with like Mario Kart things or anything like that to make it interesting. Just naturally, you get chaos, you get excitement with touring cars, and that's what everyone loves about them. I mean, I hate to drive them. I do not enjoy driving touring cars, but oh my God, do I love watching them because they're just always so close. And they're not fast cars. I mean, they're fast cars, don't get me wrong, but they're not fast cars. They're not F1 cars. They're not GT cars. They're glorified road cars, which is awesome because it just means you can throw them into corners. It means that you can chuck them down the inside of people. And while, yes, there is a little bit of door banging expected, it's still a no contact sport. You don't want to see the contact, but they have that margin for error. They can afford to have a bit of, argy-bargy. It's not going to throw off their front wing, or it's not going to completely knock their wheel alignment out of 0.001 of a millimeter, which means they're losing 5 seconds lap time or whatever. They are allowed to have that margin for error, and they are given the opportunity to race, which means drivers, they know that. They know their car is durable. They know their car is prone to be able to overtake, and that means that they're more confident to go for said moves. And, they're an easy-ish car to drive. Front-wheel drive, they're quite user-friendly, which means that you do get quite close lap times as well, which makes for competitive grids. I'll be honest, I can't think of one bad thing that comes out of touring cars.
No. I'm trying to sit here and think. You can't really, because you get great racing, door action, close racing, different manufacturers. So, yeah, I can't really see that anything bad comes out of it, really. The racing's going to be epic. Fraser Garrity, let's go. And obviously Jamie there. Oh, my God, go on down the man. Yep, let's see how this one pans out. 1 minute 13 left of qualifying, guys. They all have done their allotted 3 laps. Maybe we could have probably got this down to about 5 minutes knowing this, because they are in a minute per lap. But let's just see as we still trace Steve Howard, who's just driving around here, tidying up lines. Maybe not. Well, that's definitely a different way of going around that corner. I'm hoping we don't see that in the race, I guess.
Let's hope.
Let's hope.
Fingers crossed.
Not ideal.
Suboptimal. Yeah, don't do that. I don't know. Just don't be silly, I guess, is the way to go. Or, yeah, don't turn left like we saw with someone earlier going off into the and a bit. Yeah, there we go. It's not Bathurst. That was... well, I don't know what to make of that, to be honest. Fair enough. There's one way to go out with a bang, I guess. If you want to make a statement, you look cool on broadcast, I suppose. But yeah, too bad there's not a bit of a lip like we see at Bathurst, and it had just taken off. But Steve Howard, yeah, well, you remember the name because he's starting himself a space program.
Exactly. The understeer from is horrible from TCR, but good to watch when I'm not in them. Yes, they are, and that English is quite difficult as well. But there we go. Let's go onto the grid and bring you up the grid for the final TCR race of the season. Hold on 1 second. Why are you doing it that way? What's going on? There we go. No. Come on, behave yourself. Dan Mould is in first place, Arthur Ferdle second, Gary Craig third, JM Gomez fourth, Steve Howard fifth, Mark Brown sixth, Dan Sergi seventh, Fraser Garrity eighth, Matt Elmore ninth, Sam Smith 10th, Stuart Gibbons 11th, Jay Corley down in 12th place. Then beyond that, Craig Walters 13th, Kevin Eilert 14th, John Brown 15th, Derek Crowther 16th, Alan McCain 17th, Brian Dudley 18th, and Chris Barnes, who's just jumped into the end of the session in 18th place there as well. So there he is. The man on pole. How is he going to feel sitting there, Zach? What do we think?
Well, I mean, he's got the pressure of the championship on his shoulders, which naturally is going to come into a factor, but it's Dan Mould. And from what I've been told, what I've seen in previous championships with Mould is the fact that he doesn't really, bottle it under pressure. He doesn't crack under said pressure. He thrives under it. He's put it on pole. He knows he's quick. Yes, Arthur Thurtle was only 100th of a second off his pole time, but he's done this all season long. He knows what it takes to win. He knows what it takes to fight at the front. He knows what it takes to defend. And again, if I was him, he's got the confidence, but I'm sure we'll find out in 20 minutes time as to who comes out on top.
All right, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are away here at Road Atlanta Short. Dan Mould did get a start. Arthur Ferdle did pull some gap down as well. Gary Craig has got the inside line going into turn 1 in second place as these guys start going up the hill now. And Dan Mould, Arthur Ferdle, Gary Craig, Steve Hayward has got JM Gomez literally pushing him up the hill currently at this moment in time. Where is Sam Smith? Sam's trying to make his way through here as well. He's on the inside. Oh, nope, he just got done there by who was in front of Sam Smith. Matt Elmore, who's just gone past Sam Smith currently at the moment, but it is Mould, Thurtle, Craig, Hayward, Gomez, Brown, Garrity, Elmore, Smith are your top 10 with Gibbons rounded it out there in 10th place. Everybody through cleanly, Zach, currently at the moment.
Yeah, for touring car standards, that's definitely a good thing to boast. Dan Mould keeping the reins at the front of the field as well in towards what would be turns 10A and 10B, probably the most abundant overtaking opportunity that we're going to see over the course of the 2 races, but no movements particularly at the front. However, maybe a bit of side-by-side Gary Craig versus Steve Hayward going into the final couple of corners. They're practically pushing each other through. No side-by-side, but Dan Mould leads the first lap, and look at the margin that he's already got. A few car lengths at the very least over Arthur Thurtle, and well, if Thurtle's not careful, all that's going to do is grow and grow.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think Daniel Sedgley has jumped the start because he is in pit lane and looks like he's got a penalty. He's dropped all the way down to the bottom of the order. So that's not going to help with Sedgley's title aspirations. He was a long shot, don't get me wrong. If he was in the National, he'd be the 201 horse with 3 legs at the back. But he was there. He had an opportunity. And unfortunately, after the first race, Dan Sedgley has not done himself any favours whatsoever. He's now down the back of the field serving his probably stop and go penalty, if I'm not mistaken. It is a stop and go, and he is there currently at the moment. But Mark Brown is another man battling away quite nicely. He's got Fraser Garrity looking at going up the inside of which is 7 and 8 on this short track. There's contact there as well. Brown is off. He's on the grass. He's losing places left, right and centre. Sam Smith is now up into 7th place, still chasing down Matt Elmore currently at this moment in time, but it's going to be tough for Sam Smith, though, Zach, isn't he? He's a long way back at the moment.
He really is. I mean, Dan Mould leading the way comfortably, and Sam Smith right in amongst the chaos, and this is probably one of the worst places to be in a touring car field, is right smack bam in the middle. You've got all the carnage in front of you, and then you've got everyone else behind trying to capitalise. There's a little bit wide through the S's off the circuit as well. He's going to tumble even further down, pirouetting his way through the S's as well. That is just from bad to worse for Sam Smith, and well, he finds himself, what is that now, second last, but in front only of Daniel Sedgley, who's had to come into the pit lane. So yeah, that's 2 drivers very much out of contention, as Fraser Garrity is on the back of Stuart Gibbons, but well, most of the grid is on the back of someone at this point in the race. So well, I mean, gutted for Sam Smith, but in all fairness, it was he drove himself into that position. He wasn't forced, and I guess that's the championship pressure forcing him to overdrive the car.
Yeah, it definitely is as well. He's had that pressure of trying to get up, and he didn't quite manage to do it. However, Corley is trying to get past Kev Eilert. There is Eilert in front of us as we go into turn one before we start this run up at the hill. As I say, on a driver's point of view, you're looking for the left-hand tree on the left-hand side there. There it is. You've got to point your car at that. Over the curb you go. Oh, Corley's got a little bit out of shape. He's had to tighten up the exit of 3 before he runs down through 4 before the long looping right-hander of 5 and 6, of course. Different numbers to normal. Don't forget we are on the short track. Stuart Gibbons has got Fraser Garrity tucked up right behind him as well. What can Gibbons do here, Zach? He's just got to kind of hold it back and hope for the best, really, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, unless Gibbons has got any way to close the gap to Mark Brown in front, yeah, it might just be a case of trying to hold the 4 anchor down and keep that Honda in behind. Kind of trying to go defensive, middle of the circuit, no way through, obviously, for Garrity on that particular occasion. But the gap to the rest of the field, the top 7, I should say, is growing and growing ahead of the Audi. Yeah, because Mark Brown has just set one of the fast laps of the race in front, and that doesn't bode well for Stuart Gibbons, who potentially could run side by side with Fraser Garrity going in towards the S's. The Honda backs out with, well, a good head on his shoulders. I think definitely the wiser option, but they also have to look out for Craig Walters, Kev Eilert as well, just in behind. Stuart Gibbons, he's definitely got a task at hand if he wants to keep that 8th place.
Yeah, he's definitely got a bit of a mission. He's got a 2.2 second gap to Brown in front of him, and he's got a strewn of cars less than about 2.5 to 3 seconds behind him, all the way down to Alan McCain down in 15th place. So this is going to be an interesting one. Corley doesn't really seem to be making inroads into Eilert. It's great to see Corley back on the track. So welcome back to you, young sir. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Arthur Ferdo, unfortunately, though, is looking back at Gary Craig, looming in the Velocitas there together, going down across the start-finish straight, all the while watching Dan Mould pull out a 1.1 second gap out front as these guys come around turn 1 and try and aim again. It's going to be difficult for Mould, isn't it, at the moment, Zach, though, because he's trying to go forward, but he's got Craig pressurising him, and as you know, 2 people fighting, you end up losing a chunk of time because he's not driving what he normally would do. So if Craig was just to sort of back off and allow Fertel to go forward, there's a possible that they can reel Mould in a little bit.
100%. There's, it feels reassuring as a driver to know the driver behind. I mean, they're not teammates or anything like that. They are still fighting for the for the same bit of tarmac. They are still in a competition, and you can definitely tell that Gary Craig is looking, ducking and diving, trying to find a way through. But if he was just to not go for the move, just to maybe give him a bump tap, just to say, yeah, come on, let's go, Arthur Thurtle would then feel secure in his position and say, you know what, yeah, sod it, let's try and catch Dan Mould, let's try and close the gap as much as we can, because the gap, the pace difference is only a couple of tenths, and that could definitely sort of stagnate itself, but or even go back into the favour of Arthur Thurtle, particularly with a couple of mistakes from Dan Mould. If Gary Craig is on board with working together, Arthur Thurtle definitely does have the capacity to re-close that gap. But it is just a case of both drivers having to be willing to it and both drivers committing to the bit, which I'm not confident Gary Craig is, because we saw him for the last couple of laps looking for a way through. And when you're working together, you cannot do that at all, because Thurtle's then going to defend, Craig's going to get involved in a battle, and then bada bing, bada boom, before you know it, Dan Mould's 5 seconds up the road, and it's no longer a fight for the lead, it's a fight for second, where definitely it could for sure still be a 3-horse race for the lead.
Yeah, it is. Chris Barnes has unfortunately been involved in his own little incident. We won't worry too much about looking back at that, but this is the Fertel and Craig battle. You can see here on your screen just how much time they're losing over Mould, battling away. 2 attempts in that last one, one attempt in a little bit as well. They're losing time. They've either got to stop, work together. Can Fertel afford to let Craig go, though? That's going to be the question, isn't it, really? Should he be letting him go at this point, you think?
Well, I mean, again, I've had similar situations in karting where, you're the driver in front and you're saying to yourself, well, I'm in second place here. I want the driver behind me to work together. But in actual fact, it should probably be you that's trailing and using the other car to drive ahead. But your ego, your pride as a driver thinks, you know what, no. And there's the mistake, actually. So either way, Arthur Thurtle doesn't have a choice in the matter whatsoever, because here comes Gary Craig looking to the right-hand side as they dip their way downhill in towards the chicane. Arthur Thurtle demoted to 3rd place, a little bit wide wide through the very long sweeper of turn number 5, sees him drop to the back end of the podium. And what is going on here, James? There is, well, I can't even count how many cars are involved in this. You've got everyone queuing up behind Fraser Geraghty and Craig Walters as well in this fight for 8th, 9th. And then beyond that, it's just the rest of the field pretty much.
Yeah, you've got Walters, Gibbons, Eilert, Corley, Brown, Crowther, McCain, Dudley. They're all queuing up behind Craig Walters currently at the moment. Walters is ahead of the queue. Garrett's managed to clean off down the road a little bit. Unfortunately for Walters, he has not got that option. He has got cars queuing up, lining up. It's almost like a line in Tesco's waiting to pull you, pay for your shopping. You're looking for the shortest one, and there just isn't one. Toxic, answer to your question, Arthur Furter was currently in 4th place, 33 points behind Dan Mould. So he needed to beat Mould, really, and for Mould to either not finish or have a dreadful race for him to stand any chance of this as well. Steve Howard is now trying to go up beside the inside of Matt Elmore. Is he going to make it through? Howard's got the inside. They're going to be running around turn 6 and 7 side by side. Can Elmore hold the inside line up over the hill? They're going to come under the bridge right about now. Heading to the right hand side. Howard cuts across. Says, thank you very much. Let's have that. I will have that position. So that is Steve Howard running past Matt Elmore here as well. And unfortunately for Craig Walters, though, Zach, he still looks like he's under a cosh. He's not getting any sort of break, is he really? He's kind of got this man looming right behind him and everybody else looming behind him.
Yeah, for sure. Just look at the onboard, looking back. Obviously, you can't really see much because the absolute beast of a rear wing. But yeah, as soon as you even get a sniff of who's behind him, you've got Gibbons, Ayler, you've got Corley, Brown, McCain, Crowther, Dudley, all queuing up behind him. And yeah, I definitely feel bad for this cashier because probably just wants his till to close, but everyone wants to get their Porsche shopping done, specifically if it's a Sunday at 4 o'clock. He's like, no, I just want to go home, guys.
Yeah,
just want to go home. And now he's got to defend this 9th place, and it's just not happening. Just look at that. Stuart, he's going to be hoping really that Stuart Gibbons is going to be put under pressure from Aylett, who's going to be put under pressure from Corley, which is going to allow him to get away. Bit of a send maybe in the background from the Honda of Aylett, but no way through on that particular opportunity. That's the thing from Walters, is the fact he's leading the way. He's just got to hope that things like this start to happen. Yeah,
Island's just about to go up the inside of Gibbons. Corley's trying to come back on the inside as well. The Hyundai Elantra and the Audi. The Elantra's on the right-hand side. Corley's going to be running up the inside. It is going to be done. Unfortunately for Stuart Gibbons, he's lost 2 places in a matter of about 4 turns here, and unfortunately he just got all out of shape. He needs to settle down in that Audi once again. He needs to be careful of that, because that's going to happen. No! Oh, Stuart Gibbons. He was looking a bit rough and ready, wasn't he? He was looking a bit flustered there, Zach, and he unfortunately made the mistake.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're in those situations. Things can go wrong very, very quickly. This is the fight, Steve Hellwood. Matt Elmore into the chicane, into the back half of race number 1. But yeah, Stuart Gibbons, there's definitely going to spell an end to his race, which is definitely unfortunate because he was driving really well, coping with the pressure very well. Well, and I guess until he wasn't coping with the pressure very well. And unfortunately, a small mistake, and that spells the end of it. That's exactly what happens. It doesn't take much at all. Very much a short fuse, short spark, and kaboom, it's the catalyst of something massive. And well, unfortunately we see that all too often when it comes to sim racing and motor racing in general. And there you go, there's the remnants of it with the dust being kicked up onto the circuit. It's a very tricky circuit. Who's that? That's Ayla going off as well. Was looking very, very feisty in that mid-pack fight as well, but well, has suffered a similar fate. Rejoins the circuit, should be able to continue on. I don't know how hard the hit to the wall was, but definitely a lot of a hit to both the gut in terms of pride and confidence, but also a hit in terms of their track position and time gained. Less than half the race left to go. There's no way you're coming back from that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that was involved in Jay Corley here, because these guys were side by side. No, it wasn't. It was John Brown. John Brown and Kev Eilert there. So unfortunately for him, that is what happened. So Kev Eilert's all the way down the field. John Brown has got Corley tucked up right behind him at this moment in time as well as he's coming running around into turn 1. This is the battle for 9th, for 10th and 11th, we should say. And see how these guys get on running there as well. Mould's out in front by 1.93 seconds. Craig's got about a second gap over Fertile. Elmore has still not given up on Steve Howard just yet, any more than Corley has given up on John Brown. And then behind them we've got Dudley, McCain and Crowther are battling away further back as well. There is your boy Ryan Dudley with Alan McCain and Derek Crowther. They're all pockets of battles going across the field currently at this moment in time, but it is John Brown with Jay Corley tucked up right behind him. 6.5 minutes remaining here this evening, and seeing how these guys get on. But at the moment it looks like John Brown's under attack. Corley looks like he's got to run out of turn one. Which way is he going to be able to go? Is he going to be able to take the inside line down into one? Here's going to be the run from Corley now. He comes across the start line. He's got to be looking to starting to pull out. If he's going to dive it, he's not going to make it this time around. And again, he's got to sit with him for half a lap, Zach, until he gets onto the long back straight.
Exactly, and that's the problem, is especially through the twists and winds and the ups and downs of the Road Atlanta S's, it is very tricky to stay so tucked up to the rear end of another car, because you're putting so much trust in them to not make a mistake. Essentially, you limit your vision ahead. It's more likely that you're going to be the one to make a mistake as well, but you have to be so close to the rear end, otherwise you risk the chance slipping away from you into the chicane once more. There could be the move from Elmore inside line. Steve Hellwood sends the move back to the outside, up and under potentially. Here comes Mark Brown into the equation as well, dipping the way downhill through what would be turns 11 and 12. Now into the final corner, and no changes. I don't know how, really, because it was definitely very, very close. But the fight for the P5 rages on. Elmore now looking to the inside of turn number one. Definitely the dominant line of the two. However, Halewood giving it a good go. Now with the outside momentum, gets ahead before the S's. Now you've also got Brown trying to look to dip his way to the inside as well. This is fantastic racing. And, well, Halewood is putting up a mighty defence.
He is. He's not giving up. He's not giving up that position. He's not having that taken away. Steve Howard currently sitting in 5th place at this moment in time. And I'll say at this moment in time because I've got a funny feeling Elmore may come again. There we go. Howard's made a mistake. He's made a mistake. He run out onto the grass. Is he going to lose a position to Mark Brown as well? He has. Is this going to bring in Fraser Garrett? He's now going to be another man under attack, and it just takes Howard one mistake like that, Zach, and he's lost 2 positions, and unfortunately he's all the way down now, down in 7th place.
Yeah, that's how quickly the pendulum can swing one way, then straight back the other way. Steve Howard still in the mix. You know, he's clinging on to something, but it is definitely going to be a bit of a tricky task, considering the fact that Elmore and Brown do seem to be slightly quicker. Also, he's got Fraser Garrity on his case, trying to put some pressure. Now, this time, Hayward is the one getting sent around the outside through T number 1. Garrity now to the inside, going through the S's. Hayward's going to keep him honest now to the next through the right, then the left. He is ahead. Garrity forced to concede, and Hayward... wow, I have to say, yes, he's fallen back a couple of paces in the last couple of laps, but his defensive driving, you'd think that he's completely bulletproof. That was fantastic. That is brave, bold, brilliant, whatever you want to call it. Throw every name under the sun at that one. Hayward, he is brilliant in terms of defensive driving. Yeah, he definitely is here. He's got Craig Waters still, got John Brown and Jay Corley right behind him. Waters looked like he got a slow run out. Brown's going to be alongside him for turn 7 and 8 here. Is this going to be a side-by-side? Can Brown hold that inside line? Can he make it work? He's got to get on the gas quite early. He's hit the brake. That's bringing Corley into it at the same time. Are they going to be free wide going down through the final corner? They're not. Waters is going to lose 2. He's going to lose 2. Corley's going to have him as well down the start-finish straight. Corley's got the inside line for turn 1. There's a little bit of contact there as well from Waters. Corley goes in deep. He's got to let that car run. He needs to get across the track to try and stop. Waters coming in. Oh, there's a nearly contact again. And Waters does go down 2 positions, and Corley there makes it move as well. But boy, oh boy, Zach, that could have been disaster. And it is disaster. Oh, Steve Howard. Same turn. Same turn, yeah. 1 lap more. They say you're allowed to make the mistake once, don't make the same mistake twice, and unfortunately that's exactly what Steve Hellwood has done. Exactly, a little bit wide, which it's a long corner, and in front wheel drive cars long corners don't equate to much. They're tough. The tyres are under so much stress. They're powering, the front drivers are powering the car, they're steering the car, and also the weight transfer to the back means that you've actually even got less grip the more you're on the throttle, because the car lifts up, the tyre lifts up as well, ever so slightly. Less rubber touch on the road, less traction, less grip. So yeah, long corners are always going to be a recipe for disaster, but that is the nature of the beast. That's what you signed up for, and that's the style of racing you've got to sink your teeth into. And unfortunately for Steve Hailwood, it's put him out of contention for the top 5. Fortunately for him, it should be fairly plain sailing for him now to secure 8th place, but yeah, it's definitely going to be all eyes on race number 2, the reverse grid for Steve Hailwood, if he wants to recover any sort of a good result from this evening.
Yeah, at the moment though, the reverse grid is going to put Sam Smith on pole position. But here comes Craig Walters. Deck Crowther is behind us. He's now alongside. We're going to be side by side. How many times have we seen this run down into turn 6 and 7 currently at the moment as well? Dudley's getting himself involved with McCain. Can Crowther hold that inside line? There's going to be contact all day. All day there was going to be contact there. They're going to be 3 wide going down in through the last corner. They're in 2 banks of 2. It's like watching Noah's Ark load the animals once more here. And it got Ryan Dudley's got an absolutely barnstorming run. Here comes Dudley. He is literally taking the final furlong in the National, and he's gone past 3 cars in the process. Is he going to get this one as well? He is. Walters has just been onto the grass. Unfortunately, it was a little quick contact with Crowther, but what a move from Ryan Dudley. Move of the day. He got a jump out of that last run, out of that last chicane there, Zach, and absolutely floored it.
You've got to take those chances, and well, it's exactly, he just looks like a hero now, doesn't he, Ryan Dudley? Fantastic stuff there. Brilliant display. Oh, there we go. There's the McCain. That was dangerous territory there. Oh, my words. Now, it could put him under a bit of pressure from Derek Crowther into the chicane. No changes as we got our way to a little bit further in front with, what was it? It was John Brown versus Jay Cully. Yeah, both of these guys fighting it out now onto, well, one of the final couple laps of the race. White flag is waved, so Dan Mould, well, he's going to cruise his way to victory, it has to be said. 2 seconds clear of Gary Craig. This is to lose.
Yeah, definitely Crowther and McCain now still fighting out there as well. It was Crowther with Walters who had a little bit of contact, and unfortunately Walters ended up on the grass. But Dudley's move up 3 places within the matter of a corner. He saw a gap and he absolutely floored it through. But it is going to be Dan Mould coming up over the hill round the final corner now of race 1. Dan Mould is going to be your winner here in race 1. Mould in first, and then Gary Craig, then Arthur Ferdle, and what an absolute barnstorming race there as well. Gary is going to come in behind Mark Brown, and Corley's going to come in behind John Brown. Unfortunately, he's not going to get him on this run down into the line. Is he though? Is he? The line's quite early. He's got to try and get through. Is he going to pull out? It's going to be Brown. Brown holds on from Corley. Dudley, after the move of the race, absolutely incredible, up 3 places there in one little run, and is in 11th place as he comes across the line there. Walters and Eilert, of course. Chris Barnes is still running, but he's all the way back down in 16th place at the moment.
Yeah, well, we'll wait for them to finish, then obviously run through the grid order, going through the race number 1, and I think this just nail in the coffin for Dan Mould, surely. It's got to be. This is signed, sealed and delivered in terms of his championship. I really, can it go wrong?
Who knows? We'll work it out very, very shortly. Dan Mould in first place, Gary Craig in second, Arthur Ferdle third, J.M. Gomez fourth, Matt Elmore fifth, Mark Brown sixth, Fraser Garrity seventh, Steve Howard eighth, John Brown ninth, Jay Corley 10th, Ryan Dudley 11th, Derek Crowther 12th, Alan McCain in 13th, Craig Walters 14th, Kev Eilert 15th, Chris Barnes 16th, and Dan Sedgley down in 17th place, with Stuart Gibson's 9 laps down in currently 18th place there. So we have got a brief 5-minute warm-up that allows me to sit and work out and do some very quick maths currently at this moment in time. Who was the fastest lap in that last race? On that one, where was Arthur Ferdle? He was in second, so he scores 23. So Dan Mould currently at the moment is on 209. Ferdle is on 174. As for Smith and McCain, let's Smith and Sedgley, let's just show the results one more time. Smith was, where was Sam Smith? Am I missing Sam Smith?
He's not on the live timing. He's on my live timing. Scroll down. He's not there. He's not. Where's he gone?
Huh?
He's disappeared. Vanished. Can anyone at home see him? I can't.
Collie, Dudley, Craven, McCain, Waters,
Did he leave the session before the race ended?
I don't know, but he's not there. He's not there. Sergi was down in 17th, so Sergi gets 8 points. So Sergi's on 160 currently. And nothing from Smith. I'll see him when he goes onto the grid and see where he ends up. I'm wondering if he's going to be on the back end here. He went off in turn 3, didn't he? Yeah, he went off lap 3, turn 3. And maybe he just didn't finish the race at all. But there we go. I'm in your Discord at the moment. How do I go about signing up for next season's races? Which Discord is this, Mr. Woodcock? Is this the SRL? It is the SRL Discord, I believe, as well. You can see in the announcements there is TCR Season 6, I believe, that has come out on how they enter there as well. So if you are in the SRL, you can then go into the TCR Season 6, how to enter, and that will bring you up how to enter there as well. So all of that is there in the SRL Discord currently at this moment in time. Don't forget, guys, if you do want to get yourself involved in all the links basically are down in the description below. That's for the JPB Leagues Discord. We're currently just about to start the Clio Cup next Monday from Brands Hatch Indy. 40 drivers hurtling around there. We did just have the media day at Alton Park Fosters with 39 cars on track as well. So if you do want to get yourself involved in the league there as well, we do have a reserve list, unfortunately, of 6 drivers as well. So the chances of you getting this season may be a bit short, but maybe next season you might be able to get in if, obviously, within the Clio Cup if you want to get yourself involved in that one as well. So have a look there. All the links are down in the description below, but I do not have Sam Smith. However, he's in the warm-up, so I'll have to work out where he comes up there as well. Pole for race 2. Sam Smith was down in 20th. Ah, okay. So Sam Smith's only scored 6 points then. That puts him on 166. So at the moment, it's Thurtle and Mould, and with only 34 points up for grabs, Mould has already won, judging by this, because Thurtle can only get 208. And Mould is on 209 going into the next race. So Mould is technically already champion, I think, if my maths are correct. And I did work in a school, so
don't trust it.
Well, the kids at the school.
You were PE though, weren't you?
Sorry?
Were you TA?
TA.
Ah, right. I thought you said you were a PE teacher.
No, well, I did that as well. Maths, English, PE, RE, history, the whole thing. Come on, mate. Catch up.
What, in a secondary school?
No,
Or
in primary. Primary. That's why.
Okay,
that's why I can add 25 to 84 and know that my maths are going to be correct. You know, column addition and all that, mate. Column addition.
Well, I've just come out of primary school and
yeah, we know.
I still don't know.
Column addition and all that, mate. Come on. God blimey. Right. Just going to wait for the grid to pop up. We are at the end of the warm-up there as well. Thank you, Tom. No worries, Tom. So glad. Wait, no. Oh, Corley's not even sure. He's like, pole. No, wait. Yes, pole. It is Sam Smith on pole. Right. Here's the grid for race 2. Sam Smith is in first. Stuart Gibbons second. Dan Sedgley third. Chris Barnes fourth. Kev Eilert fifth. Craig Waters sixth. Alan McCain seventh. Deck Craver eighth. Ryan Dudley ninth. Jay Corley 10th. John Brown 11th. And Steve Harewood down in 12th place. Then beyond that, we've got Fraser Garrity, Mark Brown, Matt Elmore, J.M. Gomez, Arthur Ferdle, Gary Craig, Dan Mould, all the way down the end of the field in 19th. It's going to be tough for Mould this time around. And Smith can only score a maximum of 34 now. So, unfortunately, it's not going to be enough because that will only put him on, if I'm not mistaken, 200 points. So, Mould has really already got this wrapped up currently at the moment. So, there we go. So, this is just more for second place and pride, really.
Well, see if Dan Mould can win it, I guess.
Right, he's got a long way to come, hasn't he?
He has. Make it interesting. Let's go for it. See what Dan Mould can do. I mean, he's won the championship. He's got nothing to lose. He can just send it, can't he?
Well, yeah. Oh, Smith's not here. So Stuart Gibbons is going to be your pole man. Stuart Gibbons is the pole man with Daniel Sedgley, who got a very slow start. Here comes Chris Barnes and everybody else. They're going to be 3 wide further back as well. McCain, Eilert, Walters, Sedgley, Barnes and Gibbons there with Deck Crowther behind him. Dan Mould has already made up 2 places currently at the moment. Now, though, unfortunately for him, he's got Arthur Furlow in front of him. But it is Dan Sedgley. Oh, he must have got an off track. Oh, or a cut there. Gibbons is out in front. Sedgley second, Barnes third, Walters fourth, McCain fifth, Eilert sixth, and Ryan Dudley down in 7th place. Everybody at the moment made it through. No incidents currently at the moment, apart from Mark Brown, who's just been off the side of the circuit.
Yeah, so everyone keeping it clean for 2 races in a row. Fantastic stuff, fantastic display from everyone involved. Here we go, potentially though, the fight for third. Christopher Barnes versus Craig Walters there. Now going side by side off the circuit even. Well, that was a long time ago where that worked. Oh my word, a bit of a traffic jam into the chicane as well. Bit of a kerfuffle. Don't really know as to where they want to position the car. Where's going to be best? Following on with Dan Sedgley as he tries to pursue Stuart Gibbons in front. Craig Walters from Alan McCain, Christopher Barnes, Kev Eilert as everyone is just trying to pick their way through really more than anything and position their car in the best way possible, so much so that they don't lose out or cause anything catastrophic. It really is so chaotic in the opening moments of a touring car race, more so here at Road Atlanta. Off the circuit though, Stuart Gibbons, he's had an off.
Oh, Gibbons is unfortunately going down the order faster than me in my Big Mac. Unfortunately, he's right the way down now, all the way down in 18th place is Stuart Gibbons. Unfortunately for him, off at turn 3. And Gibbons again there, coming a cropper to turn 3. That was his nemesis in the first race, and it is his nemesis in the second. McCain and Walters now. Walters is going to try and go the outside line. He's got to try and get that switch back. He's got to get on the gas a little bit early. He's got to be on the run. Up under the bridge we go, and it is Walters through over McCain. Is Barnesy going to follow him through? Chris Barnes now on the back of Alan McCain as they're coming around the final corner. Barnes has got the run. He looks like he's going to go up the inside. He's nose to tail, literally. He's going to try up the inside mile of Alan McCain through to turn 1. Barnes backs out, which wasn't what I was expecting.
Probably the best course of action though, in all fairness, as they have a bit of a look into the S's. No way through on that particular occasion though, but yeah, for sure at Road Atlanta. Oh, there's a bit of a slide there from Barnes. Could invite Fraser Geraghty to get involved, up and under potentially. Still no way through as they work their way through the S's. Again, there's just no way past in that middle sector. Well, the entire first half of the lap, in all fairness, bar turn number 1. It's all about this exit here off turn number 5 as you run your way through the longest straight on the circuit. You dip your way downhill into the braking zone off the chicane. Is there any way through for Geraghty? He's got to be brave on the brakes, but unfortunately isn't. And Christopher Barnes making a costly mistake there. Definitely put him on the back foot, and there we go. A poor exit off there. Could see Geraghty have a bit of a look to the inside.
Yeah, Geraghty's trying to come round the inside of the last corner now. He's going to tidy it up. Barnes is going to run that wider line. He's going to be on the gas a little bit more. Dudley's coming through again. The rocket, which is Ryan Dudley. He's done 1 place. Is he going to be doing 2 down into turn 1? He is the man in the Audi. Ryan Dudley makes it through 2 positions again. Dudley's on a mission this evening.
Absolutely. Ryan Dudley. Fair play. I'm loving it. He's put on such a good display. Obviously, he's got 1.3 seconds gap up to Alan McCain if he wants to get himself onto the podium, but up 5 places so far. Fraser Geraghty up 8, let's not forget as well. Some incredible advances from these two, and the battle is not over yet at all, because here we go, forced to go defensive is Dudley because Fraser Geraghty looking to the outside. That's going to put him on a compromised line though, is Dudley. Maybe up and under from the Honda Civic, not really able to, as he looks to maybe have a bit of look at the inside of the final corner. Changes at the front as well. Alan McCain getting his way past Craig Walters as Daniel Sedgley setting the fast lap of the race. Really, really good pace, benefiting incredibly off the reverse grid format. And Daniel Sedgley has some good pace and is making the most of his woes in race number 1, able to capitalise in race number 2. Here's Dan Mould though. He doesn't really need any encouragement in terms of his pursuit up the field. He's going to the outside of Halewood, gets himself on the fringes of the top 10 now already in this race. Dan Mould, where's his ceiling? What's going to stop him?
Well, at the moment it's JM Gomez in the yellow yellow machine in front of him there in the Elantra. So at the moment it is JM Gomez who's not allowing him to run past him. Gomez, I would have thought, if he's going to defend this position, is got to be looking to the left hand side. He hasn't. He's left that door wide open. Mold's going to be taking it down. He's not this time around. Behind him though, John Brown's gone after Steve Howard. John Brown is going to run around the outside of turn 6 and 7. Fertel's going to put it in at the same time. 3 wide going around the final corner. Is this going to work out? Here comes Gary Craig, just for the lives of money as well. Why not throw your hat into the sun? Bart Brown's coming through as well. Brown's got to run. He's gone past Craig. Is he going to go past Howard on the outside? At this moment in time, round turn 1, he is. He's going to run it. It's contact.
Oh!
Oh!
Has he held on to it?
Yes! Gary Craig comes through, says thank you very much. I'll have that place while you two are trying to figure out whether or not you're going to hold that car on track or not. Oh, no,
someone hasn't. Who's that?
No, that's John Brown.
It is.
No, it's John Brown. Oh, I thought that was Mold.
Poor John Brown, though. You got so excited the fact it was Dan Mold, and then it's like, oh no, it's only Brown, guys. It's fine, it's only Brown. Feel bad for the poor guy.
Stop it.
Brown pants moment, though, for John Brown. That was, heart of the mouth moment. He finds himself out of contention down in P17, and, well, a bit of a stricken pride and, well, a bit of a hatred towards James Parfitt after that one. That's got to be said. With Dan Mold, he's fine. The cargo is okay, and he's actually moved himself up in a P9 after Derek Crowther's had a bit of an off as well, falling his way down the order. But there he is. Oh my word, that is a front bumper. That's a bit dodgy, and, well, understandably so. Cutting his way back to pit lane. Let's see what happened.
Yeah. Oh, he hit the grass on the outside. Oh, ouch. Have a word there, sir. That was a little bit dramatic, and unfortunately for Derek Crowther, he is off and in the grid, in the pit, should we say. Kevin Harlett, Ryan Dudley, still got Gary having a go as well. Here comes Gary now. Walters is in front. Walters is a tough cookie, but the way Dudley's been driving, I wouldn't put anything past him at the moment.
Neither would I. He's doing so well. I mean, definitely knocking on the door for a podium. Daniel Sedgley, if he makes a mistake, we've seen stranger things, all right? We've seen good old Mr. John Brown have a bit of a spin earlier on. Anything can happen in terms of this race, so don't count anything. Ryan Dudley, he is from strength to strength, really. He's using each and every overtake as a stepping stone to the next and building his confidence, and that's a really big thing. Even though if you don't really have the pace, if you're confident, if you say to yourself, if you hype yourself up and you're shouting at yourself in the cockpit, maybe not to that extent obviously, but if you're talking in your head, you're thinking, yeah, you know what, I'm the man, I'm going to do this, chances are actually you boost your adrenaline levels, you boost your dopamine levels, you just feel uplifted, and you end up driving better with that confidence. And that's exactly what Ryan Dudley needs to channel now if he wants to get past Craig Walters, maybe close the gap to Alan McCain. Daniel says he makes a mistake, who knows, maybe it's a big maybe, but there is still just over half of this race left to go. Ryan Dudley is eyeing up the podium. Defensive goes Craig Walter, inside or outside. It's going to be the outside for Dudley. He's late on the brakes. He was able to do 3 cars that way. Unfortunately can't quite do 1, and might actually lose 1 to Fraser Geraghty side by side down the hill in towards turn 12, and Ryan Dudley unfortunately losing a bit of momentum rather than gaining it. He's unfortunately taken a step back.
Yeah, he did, unfortunately, on that one. He went for the move on Walters and then didn't make that stick, and unfortunately for him, he lost that position to Geraghty. This is the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. In front of us is Craig Walters. There is Fraser Geraghty. It is nose to tail, literally. That is the front, what he's seeing. That is the back that he's seeing. Fraser Geraghty in the middle of it all here, and he's locked in this battle with Walters and Dudley. 3 manufacturers, a Hyundai, a Honda and an Audi going at it tooth and nail on the rundown now into this corner, into turn 6. Gary's gone on the right hand side. Is he going to make it stick? Here we go. He's got to try and run. Can Dudley capitalise though? Because this is what happened to him on the first time with Gary the other way round the lap before, and he doesn't make it to this fruit this time around. But Matt Elmore, Kev Eilert, Chris Barnes and Dan Mould, oh blimey son, they're all together here.
They are indeed. Dan Mould trying to make some advances to the inside of the final corner. Maybe Gomez can follow him through and use that gap. However, Barnes with the outside momentum side by side just in front, as well as Elmore gets himself to the inside of Kev Eilert. Dan Mould inside of turn number 1. Now his eyes are set on those in front, and a slow moving Eilert could maybe see Dan Mold get into the mix. Well, there we go. Nearly 2-3 wide going into the S section. There's Christopher Barnes just in behind now JM Gomez. So very much can swing one way and then very quickly swing the other at a moment's notice. And that is exactly the way you'd have to describe the midfield. It's just been carnage, and it's been a free-for-all, it's been a bloodbath, it's been the Hunger Games, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of that midfield fight. It's been so incredibly close. Same too with this fight for third. Craig Walters hanging on in the balance. Fraser Geraghty once again looking to the outside. Can Ryan Dudley capitalise this time by? No, he can't. They might actually have to use Fraser Geraghty as a bit of a stepping stone, maybe to push him through, or maybe look to the outside himself into the final corner. Which way is Fraser Geraghty going to go? Which way is the Audi going to go? He's going to score his way to the outside. Contact! Oh my word, keep your foot in, son. If in doubt, flat out. And there we go. Ryan Dudley tries to keep his foot to the floor. Unfortunately, he's lost out. Well, not lost out, stayed the same, but that definitely could have ended worse for him.
Oh yeah, if he didn't control that on the grass there, Dudley could have been in that wall. If that car had just snapped like every other car we seem to perceive it does at the same time within iRacing, Dudley could have been off there. He's lost his momentum. Walters is still going. Now, defend it hard from Geraghty as they come round this long turn 5, turn 6 before we go on the run down the short straight down into 7 and 8 at the base of the hill here. Here we go again. Once again, these guys are lining up for battle. It is the gladiators of the SRL TCR Season 5. Walters has gone in. He's gone in too deep. Here we go. Gary's going to make it out. Can Dudley make it as well? Dudley's going to run that outside line once more. Is he going to be able to make it stick? He's not. He's on the grass. Oh, he's held it again. Ryan Dudley with the car control of the season currently in the moment. There's 2 excursions on the grass. Mold's got the fastest lap of the race on a 1:3:39. And Ryan Dudley, well, he's going for it, and he's no holds barred, not holding back. It is like the death race of Ryan Dudley there. He is the man on a mission.
He really is, and he is throwing everything at this race, and he is just giving it absolutely everything, taking punch after punch and throwing them back twice as hard. Ryan Dudley, the man of steel and the man of car control as well, in all fairness. And oh, he's on the back of Craig Walters. Fraser Geraghty, he cannot afford to let him get away in that fight for the podium, so do or die now. Inside line going into the chicane. He's going to get squeezed, of course. Ryan Dudley, he's got to take control. He's got to claim the corner. However, Craig Walters to the outside. He's also got to look out for Elmore and Mold now in tow as well. Ryan Dudley's hopes for the podium might actually be squandered by the charge of Dan Mold in behind.
Yeah, but let's see how this one goes. Ryan Dudley again is heading up the inside line. Matt Elmore's trying to follow him through. Dan Mold's on the outside. This is not going to be good if these cars start drifting out a little bit wide. Unfortunately for Mold, Dudley makes it through. Where did Elmore sit? Well, did Elmore sit? He's still there with Walters side by side going into turn 2 and 3, and it is Elmore through as well. Craig Walters has lost 2 positions within 2 corners, should we say, and it is Ryan Dudley is on the charge now. He's trying to chase down Fraser Geraghty. Dan Mold is trying to get past Walters here as well, with JM Gomez looking up the inside line through turn 5 and turn 6. This is only going to lead one way down into this hairpin, and it is going to be Mold on the inside. Can Walters run him round? Depends if Walters can stop that car and not go in deep again. He's got to be on the brakes. Here we go. Mold on the inside in the green SRL. Walters there as well. Mold makes it through. Absolutely clean move. Gomez is now going to make it past Walters, and Walters unfortunately is going down the order here incredibly fast, with JM Gomez looking at making a move past him at the same time. Walters has had a rough lap there. He's lost a lot of positions, and unfortunately he's down at least 4 positions already, with Gomez trying to make it 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my word, and tumbling yet another is after that, as he loses the place to Gary Craig, I should say. But yeah, of course, again, it's just it's the narrative of this race. It's exactly how it's been going, and the nature of the beast, and what a finale this is for SRL in their Touring Car Championship for season number 5. What a way to end it while the championship was wrapped up. Oh my word, that's a little bit wide. Going to lose out a couple of places, unfortunately.
He's got a slowdown.
Going the way. He's got a slowdown. Where?
He must have had a slowdown coming out of 5 there, because he hit the brakes and he slowed right down, and he lost another 3 places. did Craig Walters, with Mark Brown coming up behind him as well. So it must have had an incident somewhere. Dudley, Elmore, Mould. How is this one going to turn out with the ever-charging Welshman that is Ryan Dudley coming down into turn one? He just wants to get hold of Fraser Garrity. He doesn't want to have nothing to do with Elmore. He's running wide. Here comes everybody else up through the middle. They're going to be free wide up the hill. Oh, this ain't going to work. Is Dudley going to give Mould room? He is. There's a little bit of contact, and Dudley loses 2 places due to one mistake coming up through turn one.
Yeah, small mistake, big consequences, unfortunately, and that is, again, how the cookie crumbles. Not long left to go in this race at all. The fight for the podium is, well, diffusing just a little bit. Fraser Garrity able to get away because of these skirmishes. Not going to be to the delight of Dan Mould, unfortunately, as his advance is halted, but he is still up 14 places. Fraser Garrity up 10, Matt Elmore up 10, Gary Craig up 10, JM Gomez up 9. Big movers in this race, and well, they have really set the timing sheets ablaze. Ryan Dudley as well, only up 3, but a special mention goes to him as well as Matt Elmore, Dan Mould. These two going at it for the only fightable position really left of this race, and well, all the way back down to Craig Walters in P11. All of them want a chance at finishing in P4, but the only problem is they've just got over 4 minutes left to do it, and 4 minutes, that's not really a long time left to go, James.
No, Sedgley's out in front by about 7 seconds at the moment. He's just literally trying to race on his own, keep it on track for Dan Sedgley, and he will take 33 points. It's going to be the battle of the second places here with Sedgley and Thurtle. Thurtle currently is sitting in 9th place in race 2, so he scores maximum of 17 points. Sedgley on 33, so a running total on that one currently at the moment is Thurtle's on 191. Sedgley will be on 193. So Sedgley will get second place. Mould is still running around the inside of Elmore. He's still charging up through the order. He didn't even need to. He'd wrap the championship up by the end of race 1. Mould's on the inside now as well in the Elantra. There, and Elmore in the Veloster. Here we go down into turn 1 again. Mould's on the inside line. He's got that job done. He does look quick in that turn there, Zach, doesn't he? And he's literally flying through turn 1 every single time.
It's a bravery corner. You've got to be committed. It's a long sweeper, and you do carry a lot of speed through it. So, yeah, it's definitely one where, well, the size of the driver's cojones definitely do play a massive factor in terms of just chucking the car in and hoping that it will stick. And that's the sometimes the way you got to drive the cars is just with some absolute courage, and that often sometimes separates the good from the great as well. Those that are able to take the risks and manage them as well, side by side, just in front as well. A big send to the outside from JM Gomez, trying to make it 2 and 1. Unfortunately, only goes past Gary Craig. Now a bit of a slow exit. Could see Craig launch a counter attack. Now looking to get his nose to the inside through the final corner. JM Gomez going to look eager to maybe go to the outside. Doesn't. Has to tuck into situ. He's also got Arthur Thurtle trying to pick him off as well now to the outside of turn number 1, the corner we were just speaking about not too long ago. And Gomez, well, it was a committed move to the outside of the chicane, but beyond that, he didn't seem too committed about keeping the places.
No, Thurtle is now on 192. Thurtle needs 2 positions to keep second place, if my maths is correct. Mould's running the fastest lap currently at this moment in time in this race on a 1 minute 0.34. So Thurtle needs to go at least another 1 or 2 positions to guarantee second place at the moment. The problem is he's got Dudley in front of him. Dudley's gone forward. He's come back. Is he going to go forward again? He's going to try going up the inside of Craig. Don't jeopardize your exit because Thurtle's coming. Thurtle is on the way. He needs his position away from you, young sir. Dudley blocks the inside there as well. Nice car position from Ryan Dudley as he's in the middle of a sandwich. He's got Arthur Thurtle right behind him. He's got Gary Craig in front of him. Can he hold on down into turn 1? Thurtle's pulled out. Thurtle's looking to go up the inside of turn 1. Can't quite get there. Dudley holds up position again as they're coming up in the hill into 2 and 3. Currently at the moment, the Audi, the Veloster, and we've got the Elantra behind of JM Gomez. Thurtle's looking racy. He needs that 1 position. He needs that 1 position for second place in the championship. Is he going to get it? That's going to be the interesting thing as we go into the final 50 seconds. We're going to have 1 more lap. I think Sedgley is coming around the final corner up over the hill under the bridge, and he's got 43 seconds. We're going to be on the final lap of the race this time around, and Thurtle needs this position of Dudley. He needs it.
Yeah, and when the championship pressure starts to strike, I mean, it's not the win, but it definitely is the runner-up prize. And if you're not gonna, if you're not gonna finish first, you might as well finish second. It's the next highest that you can get. And Arthur Fertile is absolutely giving everything. He wants it, but Ryan Dudley has been, well, incredible in this race. They go across the line, the white flag is waved, one more go around the Road Atlanta short circuit, and Arthur Fertile has got the world on his shoulders in terms of sealing 7th place and sealing 2nd place in the championship. Wide from Ryan Dudley, could spark the move. Arthur Fertile looking to the outside, through the S's, he's going to send it, he's going to get through, he's off the circuit. Ryan Dudley comes through, nearly 3 wide through. Oh my goodness me, Ryan Dudley gets back in front, and Arthur Fertile, his chances are slipping because JM Gomez and Brown both into the mix as well. Less than a third of the circuit left to go, and Arthur Fertile is under pressure. He could go backwards, but Ryan Dudley's wide.
Oh, Dudley is wide now as well. Fertle's looking down. Dudley's defending the inside line. Says he's come across the line and taken the victory. Alan McCain has got Garrity right alongside him currently in a moment. How is this one going to turn out? Is Garrity going to get a run? Oh, he's on the grass. That ain't going to do it, son. Don't want to do it like that, mate. Can't park there, sir. And here comes Fertile. He needs his position to get it on a count back. Is Dudley going to get him on the line? Is Dudley? Oh! Fertile may have lost out. He may have lost out as I get on to the little calculator, which is my brain, adding 18 points onto Fertile's score. How did he do? Oh, I think he's lost by 1. I think Sedgley has got 2nd place. Mould is in 4th at the moment. He takes another 25 just for good health. So that puts Mould on 2.34 plus the fastest lap, 2.35. He may be on 2.36 as we can't remember who got the fastest lap in race 1. And here are the results there, and it was Dudley down on the line who took the place away, but Dan Sedgley won by 10 seconds. Alan McCain in 2nd, Fraser Garrity 3rd, Dan Mould 4th, Matt Elmore 5th, Gary Craig 6th, Ryan Dudley 7th, Arthur Fertile 8th, JM Gomez 9th, Mark Brown 10th, Craig Waters 11th, Chris Barnes down in 12th, Steve Howard in 13th, Jay Corley 14th, John Brown 15th, Kev Eilert 16th, and Derek Crowther down in 17th place with Stuart Gibbons in 18th there. What an unbelievable race 2. That was just literally incredible. And it was basically Sedgley with the win, and then McCain and Garrity for, 2nd and 3rd place there, unfortunately, for Garrity. He just clipped the grass on the last corner and sent himself off the order there as well. Fraser Garrity is in the interview room. The man that was on the run down to the line just lost it by hitting the curb on the inside. But welcome in, Mr. Garrity. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm hot and sweaty.
Oh, I bet, mate. That was a race and a half, wasn't it?
Oh, it's a cracking race that was for last race of the season. Can't moan at that.
No, you definitely can't. It was literally incredible battles all the way through the field. How is it adrenaline-wise for, you guys racing in a race like that in the last race of the season?
For me, I'll be brutally honest, I had like shaky foot halfway through, so when it was getting a bit tense.
A shaky foot?
Yeah, when the nerves kick in and your foot shaking on the throttle.
Yes. Do you know what? Actually, no, because I'm never up the front, mate, to know what that feels like. I'm never that high up to get all nervous. I'm normally at the back, mate, just holding everybody on my shoulders, keeping them above me, you know what I mean? So, no, I don't know that feeling, mate. Is it a good feeling to have?
No. It's one mistake, it's all over.
Oh, yeah, and it was definitely over for some of them in race 2 there. Gibbons, Brown and Crowther, unfortunately. Crowther had a big one coming off the final turn, lost a bumper and everything. But, did you think you were going to get him on that run down to the line, though? Because that was close. If you hadn't hit that curb, I thought you might have got him.
Thought it was going to be close, but then I thought I'm washing void a little bit. I thought if I take the curb, I keep P3, he keeps P2. I'd rather us have that than me slide into him and take him out.
Yeah, man, that was just unbelievable there, bud. Well, absolutely epic racing there, mate, in both races. Incredible. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Obviously, SRL boys Dan and John for setting a great league. James, you for the great commentary all season. Everybody else for taking part.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Fraser, and we'll look forward to speaking to you soon, bud.
No, see you, James.
Take
Ta-da.
care, mate. Bye. Right, let's bring in Dan Mould in to the booth, who wrapped the championship up by the end of race 1. He didn't have to push as hard as he can, but you try and tell a racing driver not to push in reverse grid when you're faster than everybody else in front of you. Wrapped it up. We got a fit with the fastest lap as well in race 2. It puts him on 235 points. Dan Mould is your champion. He is in the booth now. Dan, welcome in, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Enjoyed that. I wanted a little bit more of, close racing, but race 2 was...
Was you watching the same race we was?
I just thought, race 1, Arthur had a bit of he lost a bit of traction on the first lap, and it just gave me a good advantage on him, and then I think I've got the edge on Arthur in this car, and he just couldn't catch me up. Gary's got a similar pace, I think, but Gary got caught behind Arthur, but... race 2 was fantastic just to watch that end lap between Fraser and Alan McCain. I could literally see it from the top of the hill in game on the last corner. I was like, go on, Fraser, but the curb just stopped him getting that sweet exit.
Yeah, he just bounced the curb. He just said he was washing wide, and he literally just took the curb, hoping he would sort him out, but unfortunately it didn't. It made him off worse there as well. But look, you are the champion, mate.
Yeah, champion of my own league. Bodes well, doesn't it? We need to get some faster boys in. Well, we've got some fast boys, but we need more faster boys in.
You fixed it, mate, didn't you? That's what it was. You fixed the point system to benefit you. It was all a ruse.
I wish I did. I mean, there's some really... I think it's just been one of them seasons where, consistency pays off, and as you know, I'm a massive fan of the TCR. It's my favourite car, so... It's where the confidence lies.
I think that was the thing, wasn't it? It's just being about consistent. Jamie Dengle's asked, how long before you see a glass of wine?
No wine tonight. I've got water.
Oh. That's just 2 nights in a row tonight. We've spoken to him and he's had water.
Yeah, it's wine tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yeah, no wine tonight.
No wine tonight for Dan Mould out as well. But
sorry, Jamie.
Yeah, unfortunately, never mind. But look, dude, you are the champion. So go away, be happy, spray that water around. Probably not by your PC or rig. That probably ain't going to do it any favours. But overall, mate, absolutely incredible season. I would say anyone you want to give a shout out to. Do you want to shout out anyone?
I'm going to shout out John this week because, we have got a good partnership. I think of the ideas and then John implements them. So, without him, we wouldn't be able to do this league. And I think that, the feeling is mutual. But we have already put the feelers out there for next season. We've got the track listing up there. We've got the flyer. So anybody who's watching or is watching the VOD, if you want to get involved, join the Discord. Links at the bottom. And, we've got 2 races coming up, an open day for anyone to join, a media day, and then the league starts. So epic track list as well. I'm looking forward to the next one. I can't wait. Really can't.
It should be absolutely incredible. Well, Dan, thank you so much for joining me. We have got John in the booth. I'll tell you what, let's bring John in at the same time. We've got both organisers of the SRL, Dan Mould and John Brown, in the booth with us. John, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. I'm just trying to forget that last race there. That was... I had a really fun first race, and I killed myself in the second race, but we'll just forget about that one.
Yeah, turn 3 was an absolute cropper at the top of the hill. Did you well on that one there, mate? You know what I mean?
That back end of the Audi is very bouncy. So, I killed myself. But I just came in to probably reiterate what Dan has already said and thank everybody for taking part. And yourself for doing the commentary. It's been great. It's been a great season.
Yeah, it definitely has there, boys, as well. And as I say, by my calculation, it puts Dan Mould in first, Dan Sedgley second, and Arthur Fertile third in the championship. Don't take my maths.
Congratulations, Daniel.
Yes, he did, didn't he? He's not even celebrating with wine tonight. He's on the water.
So, Boston's finest.
Mate, I can't say anything. I'm on as well. You know what I mean? So, overall, it was an absolutely epic season, though, John, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Looking forward to the next one?
I am indeed, yes. Yeah, we've had some really fantastic driving, some really clean races. I mean, that one in particular, there's some corners there that can cause an awful lot of death, and I think I killed Kev in race 1, so I apologise for that, and but killed myself in race 2. But yeah, no, everybody did really well, and love to see them all back next season.
Awesome
yeah,
stuff.
I think that's the beauty of this. Sorry to interrupt. This is the beauty about this community. We do have some real good close racing, but the thing that stands out is that people in any league you join, as you know, James, and as I know, in any league you join, you're gonna have incidents. And the beauty about this league is people just get on with it. We say our sorries and we just crack on. We don't hold no grudges, and that's one of the reasons why we did this, because it's such a tight. Not tight, that's the wrong word to use. It's such an open but close-knit, welcoming community where, anyone can join at any skill level, and we welcome them with open arms. And it's just like a very homely, friendly atmosphere to be involved in, and it just spurs me and John on to keep going and putting the effort in, to continue it.
Yeah, we have an inquiry from Tom Woodcock, who is said that he's in the Discord and he's going to be looking at joining about signing up for next season's races. So I did point him in the direction of the sign-up form there as well. So Tom will be hopefully getting himself involved there as well. But thank you guys for joining me, and I'll look forward to, I'll see you next week for the GR86s.
You will indeed, mate.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, Zach, as well. Appreciate it.
Yeah, cheers, Zach.
All right, so there we go. That is the organisers, Dan Mould and John Brown of the SRL. I would ask Zach what he thought of the racing. Zach, can you speak still? Because it did go in the middle there, sir.
Just about. Now I'm not shouting, that's fine. But yeah, my voice is getting there slowly but surely. It's not like I've got a busy weekend or anything. It's fine. I'm all good.
I apologise.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I've got to feed myself, mate. Honestly, yeah, I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was fantastic racing. It was worth losing my voice over. I say losing my voice. It was worth losing it even more, I guess, than it already was. It wasn't great coming in. It's still not great coming out. But for the best reason. Can't complain. I'd do it again. Fantastic racing. It was awesome. Obviously, some great comedic relief for everyone at home as well, listening to me sounding like a
squeaky
teenager
toy
again.
Toy Story.
Yeah, 100%. That one, little penguin. Yeah,
the penguin one.
That's me. But I mean, I enjoyed it. It was great racing. Dan Mould, obviously, very deserved champion. Whether it's rigged or not, we don't know. But touring cars at Road Atlanta was a pleasure. Great way to end off the season.
All right, guys, that brings us to the end of this broadcast as well. Don't forget, coming up on the JPB YouTube tomorrow, we have got the 6 hours of PEC of Road America, 6 hours of endurance. Then on Sunday, we got the P Cup round 3 from Monza. We got the Radical Sim Racing endurance round in Sebring. Then we got the IGP round 3 at Hockenheim as well, and that will bring you from 6 to 9 o'clock. So there was 3 going out tomorrow evening, so don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bells, and obviously give the video a big old thumbs up. What more could you ask for? There's some absolutely incredible racing. So from myself and Zach Sweeney here up in the booth, take care, have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.